Hey everybody, welcome back to your classroom. I'm Thatcher Taylor, certified financial planner. We're going to talk about what to do with an old 401k. Let's get into it. So let's assume you did retire, and I mean you retired, or you're going to retire. It's not like you're going to retire and go to a new employer. If that was the case, there's another option, but we're going to assume you're not going to go to a new employer. You're going to retire. There's three options, and we're going to go over all three. You can leave it in the 401k. There's no real rule, unless you have a very minuscule amount in there, there's no rule that makes you take the money out of the 401k of your old employer when you retire. Number two is you can roll the money out into an IRA. Or number three is you can cash it out. You can just take the money. We're going to go over all three of them here right now, the pros and the cons. All right, let's say you decide to keep your money in the old 401k of your employer. For some reason, you really love the plan. Some of the pros of this is your money can still grow tax deferred depending on what it's invested in. Depending on your age, especially over age 59 and a half, and in some cases over the age of 55, you can take penalty-free withdrawals. If your money is in a pre-tax state, the money will still be taxable, but if the money is in a Roth state, you're gonna have to wait to age 59 and a half, and all that money can come out tax-free. But either way, no penalties for distributions. Sometimes your 401k has good institutionally priced products, but usually only a few basis points, a very few minuscule percentage points compared to investments out in a different account type or outside of the 401k. And then a big one is federal law provides protection from creditors with money that's in 401k accounts. So if you ever have someone chasing after you for some money, maybe leaving in the 401k would be a good idea, but in my 15 years, I haven't run into that yet. Some cons is if you leave the money in the 401k and you're not working or you're not employed, you won't be able to add more money to it. Withdrawal options are sometimes limited, where they may not allow partial withdrawals. They may only make you withdraw the entire amount, which would lead to point three, but we'll get there in a second. The next con is required minimum distributions, where if you have the money in the 401k, you're gonna have to take distributions out of that account, which to be honest is a con for the next one we're gonna go over, but in general, it's true. If you leave the money in the 401k, you're gonna have to take distributions. So leaving money in the 401k has some pros and cons, but just remember, a 401k account or an IRA account, those are just IRS specific account types, but they're still going to function very similarly. That's why the IRS allows number two, the rollover. So you have the ability, if you leave your employer, to roll the money from the 401k into your own IRA. If you have pre-tax money, you can just go to a regular rollover or traditional IRA. If you have Roth money, you can move that money to the Roth bucket or a Roth IRA. Some benefits is now you have full control over the account. You can invest in whatever you want. You get the investing universe. So although there may be some cheap investments within your 401k, they're usually very limited. So within the IRA, now you can invest in really whatever you want. There are some exceptions to early distributions out of IRAs, things like first-time home buyer expense, higher education expenses, and a whole list of other things. In fact, the list is so big now, you just go to irs.gov and check that list out. But I can't stress enough the value of the IRA. You get full control. You now have the ability to navigate how you want to invest, how you want to rebalance. You get the investing universe predominantly that is very valuable in your retirement planning. Some cons of the IRA or the rollovers, you still got to do required minimum distributions. So depending on when you were born, if you're born after 1960, it's going to be age 75. But essentially, at age 73 or 75, you got to start doing distributions out of your IRAs and paying taxes on the pre-tax money. Now, there isn't as much creditor protection within an IRA, but some states do allow some specific creditor protections. But the money is going to be more exposed. But that only applies if you have creditors coming after you. Normally, if your financial foundation is set and you're navigating retirement and your finances properly, you won't need to worry about creditors. And number three, the third option is you can just cash it out. I don't know if I necessarily suggest that in a lot of cases. Let's say you had $1 million or maybe $2 million in a 401k, which I have seen, and there's more 401k millionaires than ever before. If you have that money and you withdraw it all and you put it in your bank account, and let's assume you're over the age 59 and a half, that's just going to be a gigantic tax bill. And if it's $2 million, you can assume basically just cut that in half federally and state. So you leave the first day of work, you withdraw it all from your 401k, and you end up putting $2 million in your bank account, you're going to get a tax bill for about $1 million. This is a plan I do not suggest because this avoids the tax deferral, the value of these accounts where you can defer taxes till a later date. And all growth and appreciation stays tucked in the account and is not taxable in the year that it happens. Again, you could use the rule of 55 where you could distribute assets starting at age 55, But remember, that's only a bridge for 4 years. At 59.5, you avoid any penalties for early withdrawals. So only use that rule if it makes sense. I should include, if you choose the rollover option, make sure to call either your advisor or the company that holds your IRA. You may have to create an IRA, Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab, whoever you want, and make sure to call your 401k provider to help initiate the tax-free rollover to your new IRA account. They should be able to help navigate. I make these calls with my clients all the time. I think I've made thousands of these phone calls in my career, so it's really important to make sure to know how the rollover works if that's how you choose. I can't tell you what to do. I don't know really anything about your financial situation. In fact, I don't know anything about your financial situation, but the majority of my clients do either option 1, where they keep the money in the 401k depending on your situation, or option 2, which is the most common, they move money into the IRA so we can have control of it and help make sure that the investments fit the retirement plan of their choice. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to help. Please hit the contact me link below. It comes to me directly. You'll chat with me and me alone. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.